Hardcore happened when people in DC and LA and New York, I guess, decided to make the British punk rock sound a bit more cracked out, I guess. More rabid vocals and faster music and just real sloppy and, you know, whatever. That kind of crap your mom doesn't want you listening to.
It's just, well, not even over the years, but like more recently, like in the past like even a year and a half, there's been so many bands that like started and just been all our friends coming out to shows, just the best vibes, you know, like. You know, I love having kids come to shows and it's like their first show and they don't know what to expect, and then they see like all the, like, I guess the unity you could say, and just, you know, it's cool because then they start telling their friends about it, their friends come out, you know, their friends pick up like a bass or guitar, they want to start a band. Dude, that's just how it grows and grows. Like, like South Florida is like the shit, you know? That's, dude, it's awesome. Can you curse in this? Going to other places and seeing like bands from that area, it really like gives you a perspective like, okay, they don't have a lot, but they like take advantage of everything they have, like maybe like a basement venue or like anywhere, like a room somewhere, you know, in some random area of like Texas or wherever, like.
But this music is to be escaping the outside world. This music's for us loving this music, loving the message, coming in the building, sweating, jumping on each other, right? Sing along, it's a bunch of fucking freaks. So these shows could be anywhere in the world, doesn't matter.
I think right now is the greatest it's ever been. Back in the early 2000s, everything was perfect, and then everything fell into violence and bullshit after that. Then around 09, the Talent Farm opened up. There was an all-ages venue that kids could have shows at, and that's when things started to grow again. And right now, it's the most positive it's been, probably since I've been going to shows.
Every hardcore scene is the same, but they all have like their unique differences that make each scene different. Florida, they got a real cool, a lot of the bands, like Vices from Florida, Kids Like Us is one of my favorite. They got like a real like cool southern style to like their playing.
This is your first time down in South Florida, right?
Yeah.
This being your first time, how do you see everything here? What do you think of this area in particular, like the
awesome.
people here?
Yeah, we knew coming in that it was going to be awesome. I mean, the Talent Farm is a like nationally known venue. Like, if you're coming to Florida, you better hit the Talent Farm because it's the shit. So like, when booking agents or when bands are sending people down to South Florida, it's just the Talent Farm is on the map. It's there already.
The hardcore community, especially down here, it's a community, and everybody's super welcoming for the most part, and you should just be yourself and don't worry about, you know, trying to, like, a lot of people, I feel like when they go to like a hardcore show for the first time, have ideas about the way things are or should be, and you shouldn't. Just go and just be yourself and have fun, and it's like a really cool place to just be yourself and express yourself. So.
I wanna walk the dead one, let them not be anymore.
You know, touring and how other places compared to South Florida in hardcore.
Yeah.
So, what are your opinions?
Dude, they like, no disrespect to anywhere else, but they like don't compare to South Florida. South Florida over the past like year has had like such an influx, like year and a half has had an influx of like new kids who are like really fucking pumped on hardcore and like really supportive of everything that goes on, and it's like been super awesome. I would say South Florida probably has one of the, if not the fastest growing hardcore scene, like one of the fastest growing hardcore scenes as far as what's current. We've like always had really awesome bands in South Florida and Florida, but now there's been like a resurgence and it's been like really fucking awesome. Right now, I would say South Florida probably has one of the coolest hardcore scenes in the Southeast, if not like the entire East Coast.
Is a pretty cool like scene in like an area. You don't really realize like how boring a lot of other states are until you like leave. It's cool, like everyone's really like well connected, and I think there's a pretty cool sense of community. Like there's always, even if it's like a smaller show, there's always like a group that comes out just to support the touring bands and the local bands. Like all the local bands are awesome. I've noticed like sometimes like states will just have really awful local bands, like support bands and stuff, and it's cool because there's so many like bands that are around here, and there's always new ones like popping up, and it's cool just to see like people making new music and having fun with it. Well, the first tour we did was that summer tour last summer, and we went out to the West Coast and stuff, and we really only had to get hotels or anything like that whenever we had like a drive at night we wanted to split up. Other than that, people were always really hospitable.
So you see a lot of people who just, they want to reach out and they want to help, and they're just like in for it and they want to be there.
Honestly, yeah, it's just like that's kind of what hardcore and punk and being in a band, like touring like that, that's what that's about. You know, we're not in a rock and roll band, you know, we're not playing like giant stadiums for millions of people. That's not what like hardcore or punk is about. It's just about, it's a community, you know, it's a family, as cheesy as that sounds.